Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to finally talk about the Dragon Prince. I know we're a little late to the party. We actually did not have time to watch the show the whole way through until today. I think we actually finished today. So we're going to talk a little bit about the show and our thoughts on the show. Overall, we enjoyed it, I think, quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And, we have thoughts. Oh, hello. Everybody's kind of coming in now, so
we have thoughts.
I don't
know how good they are, but
I'm going to attempt to. I have a hard time. Geeky reminds me I have a hard time drawing and talking at the same time.
You do a lot of time doing more than one thing at the same time normally.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm going to attempt to do some sketching here while we talk about the Dragon Prince. So, overall thoughts on Dragon Prince, Geeky?
Oh, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good too. So for those of you who haven't seen, The Dragon Prince is a new animated series on Netflix. They've only got the first season or half a season or whatever.
The first book.
I think it's the first book, yes.
Which I think they're going to do like they did with Avatar. They had the 4 elements and probably 6 books, the 6 elements.
Yeah, it is very similar in format to Avatar because one of the writers actually worked on Avatar, the Last Airbender, and it shows. I mean, really the characters, the characterization, the format, even breaking it down by books like they did in Avatar. The first book is called Moon. Now, in this case, instead of having the 4 elements, we have the 6 elemental powers or whatever, primal elements. And the first book is Moon, and there are 9 episodes in the series, which is very, very short, actually.
In the book.
Yeah, so we might be doing 9 times 6 to get there.
I don't know. Whatever they're going to do. Yeah,
So it's so if you haven't seen it yet, we'll let some spoilers slip, and I apologize for that, because we're going to talk about it as much detail, I guess, as we.
Yeah, we'll try to be good. But,
but
you kind of, there's no way to talk about it without talking about characters and stuff. So
spoiler alert. I'll put this right in here. We are going to have spoilers
as a possibility.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing about the Dragon Prince is it clearly is not a self-contained series. It's clearly the first part of a much bigger epic. So don't expect a complete story arc.
No, and I honestly thought the first episodes were kind of slow. I really felt like it didn't pick up until, they weren't terrible, but I felt like, like any book, we ran into this when we do our stories too. It's like when you're setting everything up, it can be a little, boring the first little bit. So
yeah, it is kind of, there were some comparisons to like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. Obviously it's not as deep as Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, but
not many things are.
No, but there are a lot of things going on in the show. A lot of characters to introduce, a lot of side plots, subplots to introduce. But I think for only 9 episodes, I think they did a really good job introducing you to the world. And again, what I like about this series, and it's the same thing I liked about Avatar, where there's just enough information to let you know what's going on in the world, the basics, but they don't bog you down with a bunch of lore.
Right.
Like that comes later.
They give it to you as you go. It's not like, here you have to know all this before we talk about it. We're going to give you a background. This side is, this is human. This side is magic. Here's the magic side has magic. The human side, has dark magic, blood magic, and so on and so on. And it doesn't like talk about like, I'm going to tell you the whole history of the worlds before we do anything. It's just enough to get you going.
Yeah, it it did have a couple of slow spots, but not too much. They introduce. The first episode especially had this big sort of like here's the history of the world, and that was kind of like meh. But they did that with Avatar too, where they kind of explained the Avatar a little bit.
Yeah, but it wasn't like too much. It wasn't too terrible.
No.
Something's about like how they added sign language. I did too. I thought that was very, very, very cool. We're going to talk about that here.
We are going to talk about that because that's actually one of the really, really cool things about this show compared to a lot of what we're seeing in a lot of other kid shows in comics and movies. So there were more. We're going to talk about diversity on this show and how it was actually handled. And it was a pretty interesting Pretty interesting thing. So anyway, the show itself, I mean, the only gripe I had about it, and somebody else mentioned this in the comments, was the animation. And it's a minor nitpick, but the frame rate jump, which I think they were doing to try to mimic hand-drawn animation, because they were cel-shaded 3D characters. It didn't look 3D unless you're really looking for it. But there were some frame skips that were really kind of like unnatural. Like sometimes Rayla's acrobatics and stuff, they were very, very smooth, and then all of a sudden we get this like really herky-jerky walk cycle or something, which kind of
bother
threw
me
me
like
off
it
a little
bothered
bit.
you. But like I said, I watched that one episode of Sherlock where I kept pausing every few seconds because the thing was messed up, and after a while, I just didn't even notice. And I don't know how you not notice, but I just, in my memory, it was smooth. So
in my memory, it was smooth.
It's all good.
You do get accustomed to it after a while. It is kind of, I think it's more because we're kind of looking for it, and plus when you're used to 2D animation, a lot of times those jumps aren't as pronounced, I think, because a lot of times they'll like morph the frame, from one frame to another. There's some stretching and bending and stuff like that, so it doesn't seem as stiff. But when you're dealing with 3D characters, they Geeky's over here like, I'm gonna fall asleep, but it just had a kind of an uncanny feeling to it. I mean, it definitely did not ruin the show for me at all, but there were places where I thought it was pretty noticeable, and I'm just like, a little more rendering, guys, a little bit. So but
the dog, I think my exact words were, that dad's a dick. What a jerk. That dad's a jerk. I hate that guy. I was upset. I was like, they better not hurt the dog. That dad's a jerk. And I was yelling at the TV. So anyway,
I'm just saying, just the only two complaints I have about the show, and I only have two minor, and they're minor nitpicks, because I freaking love this show, but the only complaints I had about it were, again, the animation sometimes was a little odd, and some of the jokes didn't quite land.
But they were like, it was like that in Avatar too. I mean, it was like sometimes it was cheesy to be cheesy, even though My Cabbages never gets old. And there's the road again.
There we go.
My Cabbages never gets old.
My Cabbages, we still joke about My Cabbages.
Sometimes for no reason, our son will go, My Cabbages.
My Cabbages. So, yeah, I know.
But yeah, so anyway, the joke sometimes could be a little bit, but it still felt like, Avatar-ish, and I thought it was really good. I liked it.
It felt very Avatar.
Apparently more than you do. So.
No, I like it quite a bit. I'm just saying, like, if I have to give, because usually, reviewing, you gotta, like, what are the flaws? Well, I mean, I would give it a solid A-, I think. I actually wanted more. I wish that they would have, gone another couple episodes, but
they've been doing that more and more on Netflix. It's like season 1.2, season 1.3, it's like, here's your 3 episodes this week.
Here's your 3 episodes for the year, and then we'll go back. And, obviously I think there aren't going to be as many episodes of this series as there was Avatar, but I mean, as far as,
I'm sorry, I was looking at this. Why is the king suddenly a huge dick to his wizard bro? That is a very good question. I was wondering that myself. I'm like, dude, I had my opinion of where I think the king is, but I'm like, dude, this guy's coming in here to, be cool, and you're just being a complete arrogant ass. At that point, you kind of deserve what you get, because you're being a jerk.
I think there's more going on than but
I have my theory on where the king is. But anyway.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I really. I'm with Geeky. I think the first couple episodes is kind of like, it's a little slow. They're doing the world building thing, but after the 3rd episode, I was like, I am totally into the show. I mean, it really felt like Avatar.
That's what I think too, Omar. That's what I think too. Anyway, character and personality consistencies. Here's the thing about that: when you're writing stories, you're going to have some. I mean, I think the best stories even have some inconsistencies sometimes, but that was a really like, whoa, what the hell?
There's more.
My
going
takeaway
on.
was maybe the king isn't as nice as everyone wants to think he is, or
well,
something.
Well, I could be too, because he said he's
I do
done
think
some,
I think the king is the bird too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's done some
I didn't want to ruin it for
like
anybody, but hey, apparently everybody else thinks the same thing. So heck yeah. Okay, so were you gonna pull up that one thing we were looking at earlier?
Yeah, and that's actually kind of an interesting point here. I was looking for a thumbnail image for this video, and I came across this article on Mike. Now, of course, Mike is a very woke woke blog. But they had an interview with the creators of the show, and it's interesting. They talk mostly about.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Amaya, I
love
deaf.
Amaya.
She was cool. I mean, that was
Amaya's awesome.
Yeah, that was
her.
very, very handled very well. It's so weird too because there is no voice actress. She doesn't speak, but I mean, she felt like a very real character.
Well, why would you not? Just because
well, no. I'm just saying because a lot of times when they have characters that don't have a speaking part, it's kind of like you don't connect with them as well as you did with. But this character has no actress, but like just the body language, everything it carries. It absolutely worked. But they're talking about Amaya, and they're talking about diversity and inclusivity in the show. Now, here's the thing about this, the difference between Dragon Prince and some of the other efforts out there is that inclusiveness and diversity was not like a checkbox. They had, and the creators of the show actually admit this. They said they have a very diverse.
You mean unlike other shows that's all they lead with is how diverse they are. Diverse.
Right.
So we mentioned we're diverse. Here's a room full of all women, but we're diverse. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, this article is actually it's actually well worth the read. They talk mostly about Amaya and how they brought her to life. It was pretty amazing because they had to get the sign language right and everything. And I still don't know what she said half the time. I need to go back and either like subtitle it or something. But they said that the very end, the Dragon Prince is filled with varying skin tones, accents, and people of differing abilities. In most writers' rooms, including non-traditional characters in these roles, would take some convincing, but according to the creators, the entire room was always on board. There's never been any pushback, Richmond said. Our writers' room is a pretty diverse group. The only real pushback is about what jokes are funny.
Well, they need to push back more.
some of the jokes, I think they need to push back a little bit more. But this is interesting. The team isn't driven by agenda, though. In some cases, diversity is used for storytelling purposes. We want the king's sons differing races to instantly clue viewers into the fact that they're stepbrothers. In other cases, the team is driven by wanting to appeal to more types of people. In the case of Maya and Toph, of course, Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender, it comes from a place of wanting to reach a diverse audience. We generally really aren't thinking, what's the next checkbox? Richmond said, we focus on making characters that act as cool as additions to the world that hopefully end up being more inclusive than what we had before. This is key. This is what I think a lot of shows and a lot of comics are doing wrong now, is they're basically like, let's have XYZ character.
But they don't feel real. They feel forced.
They don't feel real. These characters, felt real. And they had a reason for being there. And again, I like the fact that they made sure you knew that they were stepbrothers and not... Sorry. Kiki's getting a drink. It's not an alcoholic.
I have some downstairs, though. Anyway, yeah, no, I like that. I like, because when we talk about doing comics, I keep saying this over and over and over again. I think anything, whether it be a TV pitch, animation, a comic, a novel, whatever you're doing, I think you need to make the characters be as relatable and real as you can make them. And I think even if your story has some spots in it that aren't, the best ever, or they're kind of weak, or they're very tropey or something, as long as you have really, really strong characters, and people relate to your characters and like your characters, they're going to keep coming back. Because at the end of the day, the characters are what stick with them. And I think the best compliment you could ever have as a writer is if someone's thinking about your story. It's like 10 years later, they're like, they still think about your characters. That to me would be like the most, or your characters are so real. I feel like, the real people. That's like the biggest compliment you can ever get, I think.
Yeah, I think with Avatar, especially, those characters are so beloved because they were real. And again, going back to the Avatar, the Last Airbender, and we talked about the live action version of it. They said they're not going to whitewash the characters because, like they did in the Shyamalan movie. But again, like Avatar, it was like, I never watched Avatar thinking like, oh, look at all of the Asian people on the show. It never dawned on me. It was like, I'm invested in these characters. I care about these characters. I really don't care what their skin color is. I'm not thinking about that at all.
They're just them.
And it was the same with the Dragon Prince, where it wasn't like they had to point out, like, oh, by the way, Anna Maya is deaf. Let's give a PSA about how deaf people communicate and all that. They never did that. It was just like, oh, by the way, she's deaf.
Yeah.
But she kicks ass. It was never forced. And I think that's what the big difference for me is, is this a realistic depiction of actual diverse people? So I think that's, Yeah, that's a big difference there, and unfortunately, in a lot of comics today, it's like, let's introduce these diverse characters. Make sure you know how diverse they are.
Yeah, and
and they're only there because they're diverse. They have no personalities other than being diverse.
Or they push diversity so far that it just gets a place, but they're not a character that's a fun character. It's more like
they're a walking PSA.
Oh my god, you know those people
Preachy.
that you have at work or a friend or somebody. I've had friends like that, and they just spend the entire time like blah 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 about this or that topic, preach. Yeah. Then when you get to that point, it's just no longer fun, and no one wants to read it or watch it or listen to it anymore. So there's that. So I thought that was interesting that they're basically talking about how they actually have a diverse writers room, but diversity isn't their what they're trying to push. They're trying to be inclusive, but they're trying to just make good characters, which is what I've been saying. If you can make characters that are diverse, just make good characters first and worry about what checkboxes you're hitting second. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So it was oh my gosh, what's with the cars? There's cars everywhere. Everybody comments on there like, oh my god, there's cars by your house.
We're trying to be inclusive. Cars are often left out of podcasts. And
cars are excluded from podcasts.
And we feel bad. We feel bad about that.
There's a history of editing podcasts.
A lot of guys who have to rev their engines because they have a tiny penis and low self-esteem. Usually don't know how to use microphones and do podcasts. We figured this way they can be included. And their voices are heard. Their engines are heard. So anyway.
No, I mean, I love the characters. All the characters have very distinct personalities. I
agree.
Again, that was a hallmark of Avatar, and that's where Korra lost me. I think Korra. We watched the first season, and I'm like, I am bored out of my freaking mind. I mean, I think Dragon Prince.
It was pretty, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it was nice to look at, but it didn't really have any substance to it. At least the first season. Now, I guess it got better.
The fire sword. What about the fire sword? The fact that it was an elf sword that can cut through anything, but then has a special sheath so it doesn't cut through the sheath.
Yeah, little details like that I thought were pretty cool. Like when that,
Well, if you have a tiny penis and great self-esteem, then I bow to you because most people, in my experience, not that I've seen a lot of penises. Never mind. I'm shutting up now.
Whoa.
I'm shutting up now.
You better
I'm
not
even going to go there because something's going to be said. People are going to make fun of me for months. It's going to go on a t-shirt somewhere. We're just going to end that right now.
Yeah, we're not going. Where men's faces belong.
No, we're not going to go
anyway, so no, I thought it was a really good show. I thought it was a good show. I'm looking forward to more. I like how the characters are built up. I like that every character has a unique personality. I think Claudia is a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. I mean, she could have just been like your typical goth girl. Except that last joke.
No, it was funny. That wasn't my horse. Okay, that was hilarious. Okay, Korra seemed to have less personality. Yes,
Korra
was why I hated her.
A horrible person.
She just was. She wasn't.
She was an awful person. I hated her. I just want to punch her in the face. Like I just did not. That's the thing. Like I loved Aang. I understand they want to make a character that was like a complete 180 from Aang to show how different the Avatar can be. But I'm like, Korra was a bitch. I mean, she was. I couldn't stand her. I liked her.
You're not allowed to say that.
No, she was. I didn't like her, and I think I even said that. I think after we watched the first season, I'm like, Korra's an unlikable bitch, and I don't like the show. Yeah. I think those were my exact words. And I'm like, and I never watched the second season. I don't think we've ever watched. I heard it got better, but I didn't care.
Seasons because we didn't watch them because that's the first one. We're like, this sucks. I don't want to watch it. No, thank you. No, thank you. It's not for me. It's not for me. But this show is for everybody. I'm liking it a lot. Like I said, I would give it an A-. Just a couple little, I think it got a little too jokey. In places, especially toward the end, where it was like, we're dealing with like really grave circumstances, and then we've got horse fart jokes and stuff. Well, let's talk about things let's talk about another thing we watched recently that tries to use jokes and it doesn't always work. Let's talk about the house with a clock in its walls.
Okay,
we won't spoil that though because people haven't seen that.
We can talk about it in general terms. We actually went to go see the house with a clock in its walls last night. And it could have been a good movie. I think that's the best way I can put it. Like, I really...
Sorry, for a second. Korra becomes a lesbian out of nowhere. No, that's not true. It came out of the shipping on the internet. But go ahead. Yeah,
I think that's what they did. I think the show pandered to the DeviantArt crowd, the Tumblr crowd, and it is what it is.
I know. Actually, I'm totally gonna make T-shirts of that, and it's gonna say where a man's face belongs, or a men's faces belong, and then dash geeky sparkles, and we're gonna make shirts. Might as well, And no, I haven't got to watch Hilda yet, and I haven't got to watch the Dragon Pilot yet. We just got this one done, so we're hoping to watch those at some point. But anyway, back to the movie.
Hilda is supposed to be really good. I've heard multiple people say it's supposed to be really good. But anyway, The House with the Clock in Its Walls tried to be a good movie. It tried so hard to be a good movie, and there are parts of it that were very good.
I will say, if you have little kids, it's a lot darker than the trailer leads you to believe. And our daughter was freaked out, would not go to bed last night, and she's 11, and she usually can deal with that stuff, but it freaked her out so bad because of what it was. It was creepy, I think. I'm not gonna say what it was, but it was freaked her out so much that she would not go to bed last night.
Yeah,
because she was so freaked out by the whole thing.
And I have a hard time believing that the movie was PG. It was directed by Eli Roth, who does horror movies. But the movie was PG, and it was a very uneven tone. It went from being very kind of like Spielbergian. I mean, it is Amblin produced the movie, and then all of a sudden it delves into like some really like hardcore occult themes. Just like boom, like it takes this detour into freaking Nightmareville, and then it tries to inject some laughs that don't work.
It's like, and then there's a couple things. There's just things about what has been seen cannot be unseen. Can't talk about what it is because it'll spoil it. But it was I really could have gone my whole life without seeing that. But
oh god. Well, no, they have it in the trailers. I guess they have it in the trailers.
It's in the trailer?
It's in the trailer.
Are you
trying
sure?
to get yeah, it was in the trailer.
100% you saw it.
Yes, I saw it in the trailer.
Okay, then you can mention it.
Okay, there's a scene with a baby with Jack Black's adult head, and you can't unsee this. And they spend entirely too much time on it.
I could go my whole life without seeing that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. What's this show about? We were reviewing the Dragon Prince, and now we're just going to throw in the House with the Clock in Its Walls because we saw that last night.
Never going to talk about making comics and stuff.
Then we'll talk about comics, making comics, things going on in comics, whatever comes up. So Disenchantment, haven't seen it yet.
No,
I actually haven't seen it yet.
I'm still trying to finish my the one. This was a Chinese drama, so a C drama. It's Meteor Garden, which is basically Boys Over Flowers in the Chinese version, and I'm still trying to get that thing finished up, and then I can watch other things. So anyway, but yes, I did not see the Meg. I hear it's good though.
Yeah, I was actually this weekend at the Dollar Theater.
I don't like those kind of movies. I get freaked. I mean, it's not. I don't like those.
Watch it. I like giant.
Well, I told you to go. I'm just not really into that kind of thing because then I'll be constantly worried that something's gonna happen to the animals.
I know. Yeah, Geeky is always every movie. Like I think half the traffic to does the dog die? What is it called? Like does the dog die.com?
Is me making you go find out.
Finding out before we watch a movie whether or not any animals actually get killed in the movie. It doesn't matter if it's fake animal death.
I get mad at him when he's killing animals on purpose on games. I'm like, why'd you do that? Well, it's not real. I don't care.
Me and Squeak had a pork chop machine in Minecraft, and we dropped the pigs off the conveyor belt into the fire to make pork chops.
And I got very mad.
She got very mad at me. So
I'm one of those people. Yeah, I know they haven't shown. Sure, Netflix hasn't shown any more of their innovation. I know they haven't, and you'd think by now you start seeing some more stuff other than what that one thing was. But then I don't know if I want to see more stuff because I have to hear that screechy voice again. I don't know if I can stand it.
And the thing is she's actually a pretty decent voice actress. It's just I don't think her voice is right for She-Ra.
Her voice is kind of her voice in pretty much everything. But
okay, so she's just not a good choice. For
the House with the Clock in Its Walls, it is good. Don't take small children unless they're really good with like movies that are creepy. Our daughter's 11 and she's not doing too well with it.
Yeah, but she watches creepies. Like she watches Goosebumps.
She loves Five Nights at Freddy's stuff and all that, but this freaked her out.
I think they mismarketed the movie as being another Goosebumps type movie, and it just Goosebumps. And it really isn't. It's weird. It starts out kind of like an 80s type film and very kind of Spielberg-esque, and then it just turns into this like freak show with a bunch of weird Jack Black jokes, but I think the actors are fine. I think
the acting's not terrible.
Except the one kid that was the one bully kid, the greaser kid. He just was awful. Other than him, everybody else was very good. Kate Blanchett, I keep thinking they should pick her to be Mary Poppins.
I think she would have been great.
Yeah,
I could see it. So anyway,
Transformers movies coming back to theaters. Oh my god, I didn't know that. Like the good movie, right? Not the Michael Bay movie.
No, and apparently Michael Bay is not directing Dora.
He's not directing. He was supposed to be
producing. He's not producing.
Oh, he's
Dora.
Not. You know,
that's
the only Dora I want to see is the Michael Bay.
I guess after everybody thought he was, because they saw the news sites got it wrong. He said something on Twitter, I guess, that he's not
keeping my hands off of Dora.
Yeah, because
keeping my hands off of Dora because it's illegal.
So anyway, what else were you going to talk about?
I don't know. Let's see.
Comic creation.
We could talk about
world building. You said you were going to talk about world building based on.
Well, yeah, I
wasn't sure where you're going with that.
Well, no, we talked about world building before, but I thought, based on the Dragon Prince, based on, kind of how they do it. I mean, we could talk about like different ways of building worlds. Like, do you build the world around the characters, or do you build a world for characters to live in? And I think with the Dragon Prince, I think they basically kind of built the world around the characters. Star Wars, I think they build the world around the characters. Well, they used to. But then you get like Lord of the Rings, where it's basically Tolkien's sandbox, and he just drops characters into this world. I don't know.
I don't know. We kind of just had a basic premise, and then we kind of built the characters to fit, and then you built the world to fit the characters more than anything. We had a couple story beats, but you built the world to fit the characters. We didn't really. The world's kind of like cool, but it's not like the main focus. When
Hordak transforms, he tucks his wiener back. No, you know what's gonna happen?
What did I miss?
You know what's gonna happen with this? Hordak is gonna have Trump hair.
Probably.
That's why they're not showing you Hordak. They're afraid to show you Hordak because the whole thing is gonna be like a total politically charged. Yeah, I can see that happening.
What was R.L. Stein's 2010 series? The kids watched it. What was it?
Haunting Hour, which was way freakier. Is that the one you mean? Way freakier than. Yeah. So, but I am excited. I mean, Netflix. Other than, they've had a couple of misfires here and there, but really they seem to be a place for like top shelf animation until She-Ra comes out. But for now, they're still.
Oh yeah, they're gonna find. They're definitely gonna ruin She-Ra. There's no their writers' room is they're already showing pictures about how diverse they are, and it's all light skinned women. You know,
right?
Some of them a couple of them are straight, so I get probably. I think
is that their diversity?
I don't know. I'm guessing that's the diversity. It's all. It's diversity isn't all of one type of person that's not white men. Straight white men. Diversity means you actually have, different types of people in the room working together. Having all women is not diversity any more than having all men is diversity. No. So I don't think they understand what diverse. I think it means something. They think it means something that it doesn't.
Yeah, and I don't even know what's going on with Crunchyroll. You don't hear much about High Guardian Spice unless I missed the memo on that. But that's again a huge difference. Like you look at how. They handle it with Dragon Prince. We're like, oh yeah, by the way, we've got diverse writers and there's diversity in the show, but we don't beat you over the head with it.
But yeah, we try to get it in there, but we're trying to make it as natural as possible, like in real life, where you just happen to be friends with these people.
Just happen to be friends with somebody that just happens to have darker skin than you do.
Yeah,
it's not that big of a deal. But you've got people that want to call attention to that and get a ticker tape parade for including people that should be included in stories anyway, just because I know that's the real world.
That's not how it works in reality. So story time. So we're gonna talk about his line art is actually not black. It's like a reddish color.
I'm using purple.
Is it purple? It looks black. I guess it's purple.
It's like
purple. No, it's
I don't know. I'm just drawing.
It's like a reddish color.
I'm drawing him in my style.
I noticed that when I saw it. I was like, oh,
it's a 3D render. I can't really draw it exactly. This is just kind of my quick take on the character. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about? I mean, in relation to like making stuff, we can go that route.
And how not to cuck it up. Not that we would know. I'm just saying we're not experts on how not to cuck things up. We do it all the time.
Not to cuck it up.
Anyway, I'm just saying.
Yeah, Anyway, so we're gonna have.
I'm sorry, I just read the new She-Ra. Hordak is her age, and they fall in love, and they have to hide their forbidden love, and he has Trump hair.
God.
No, the thing is, Hordak's probably a girl in this one.
They're hiding Hordak. You think they would be they would be showing?
They think people are mad about. They're mad about She-Ra. That makes you kind of wonder how Hordak's going to be.
I'm thinking there's something up with Hordak because you think they'd be showing Hordak. I mean, right? You'd think they would show Hordak by now, but they're not.
Oh,
really
I'm not
showing
ashamed
him.
of being a straight white woman. I'm just saying that they always seem to blame everything on straight white guys, or just white guys in general.
Because we're the worst.
Or guys in general, and
then
that's not fair, because you know like poor Peter Samedi is not a white guy, and he gets trashed because he's like
Yeah, I know.
So I'm
I
like,
know.
just
It doesn't matter.
So this is trash guys because they're guys, is there like a graded scale of how many points each things are worth, so we can keep track of these things?
Yeah, there is.
So I don't know.
White guys are trash and white guys like that. That's the holy grail. Speaking of Peter Samedi, he's gonna be on Monday, I believe. He's coming on the show Monday. So we haven't had a chance to talk to him since the debacle a few weeks ago, but it'll be good to have him on the show and get his input. He's actually popped up in the comments before, and we've had conversations with him that way, but this will be the first time we've actually had him on. We've had him on the show. Batawang, why DC? Why? I don't know. I've heard about. I actually haven't looked into this too much.
What is this about?
Apparently, they're gonna go full frontal on Batman.
I'm sorry. Sorry. That just amused me. I don't know why.
No, bat dick. No.
So he has a big car.
He has. I don't know.
It doesn't rev loudly though, does it?
What does Batman's penis look like? Everybody wanted to know. Everybody's wanted to know for the last 70 years what Batman's penis.
Well, as many girlfriends as he's had, it must be nice.
Oh God, no! It's probably all bumpy and red and disgusting.
Well, he might have a few diseases, but there's pills for that, shots for that.
He's got good health insurance. The bat cock.
I was like, "What's a Batwang?" Okay, now I know.
Yeah, so that's. And I don't even know exactly what's going on. I don't even know exactly what's going on with this. But does it have a cow or not?
A cow. Oh, okay.
Yes.
I said, does he have a cow? I'm like,
No,
wow.
a cow.
I was like, well, if he does, he's got some explaining to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering.
Probably does have a cow because
Anyway, so yeah, I don't even know what's up with. I don't even know what is up with DC these days either.
That came out of left field. I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah, I
was like, what?
We didn't do a video on that because everybody else was talking about Batman's dick, and I didn't really see the point.
I missed this whole discussion. I've been interested in that discussion. But anyway.
Oh, okay.
Not because never mind.
It's because he's rich, right?
That's right.
He's rich and nuts. That's why you're interested in the bat dick.
That's right.
Yeah,
because rich and nuts makes it that much better.
The bat dick, Robin. Oh my God. Webcom. There we go. Here's.
I can't breathe. Anyway.
This is my ward.
Go ahead.
Okay. Magnetic Salt says, webcomic question. How do you guys feel about mobile-friendly infinite scroll format for comics? I think it works well for the internet. It does not translate well to print, obviously, unless you've got really, 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 really long paper. But that'd be pretty cool.
And the problem with that too is, for the longest time, places like Webtoons and stuff, they were trying to get you to infinite scroll. Everything had to be infinite scroll, and then people went and did it that style to get put on as one of their people that they paid or whatever. But now when they changed,
oh my God!
Wait, they have a picture.
Is that it?
What? Wait, don't put that. Don't put. No, we're not showing it.
Okay.
When they I'm trying to answer a serious question.
Okay,
stop.
I'm sorry. I had to look this up.
So now, oh God, now, I lost my place. So Webtoons was a scroll thing, and that was the way everybody wanted to go because you wanted to be part of their platform. They're pushing the infinite scroll. Everybody was kind of doing things in infinite scroll. But now the way their new system is set up is by page views. Well, when infinite scroll, that counts, you might have 5 or 6 in a row, that counts as one page, as opposed to 5 or 6 clicks. So now if you want to hit a certain threshold to get paid, having the infinite scrolling isn't probably the way to go.
No.
But for reading comics, I think it's more effective.
I think online, especially on a mobile device, I think it works really well, but...
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And demonetized,
exactly.
Probably.
I was like, why did you do that?
We got demonetized for doing the live streams about the 80s shows, but then I was able to get that reversed because I.
Are you gonna get that reversed? Because I was just doing it for
research.
Why would you look that up? I don't want to see that.
I didn't know what was gonna come up. So anyway, what was gonna come up? Batman's penis. I didn't think they actually.
You imagine you look that up. That's what pops up. No pun intended.
Okay,
that's what I can't say comes up either because that's just as bad. If you look it up, that's what shows up in the search results. I can't say pop up or come up because that's bad.
God.
Anyway,
things I'll do for sales. No.
Spider-Man's too young.
No, Spider-Man killed his wife with his spider pee-pee.
Well, the current, I know that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But the current Marvel Spider-Man is too young.
Is the Bat Dibble.
It's
the Bat Dibble.
That's what you should draw next, Bat Dibble.
Oh my God.
True Bat Signal. God, I know anything about this, and now I'm kind of wishing you hadn't brought it up. But anyway.
So.
I'm sure this topic, I'm going to say more things that are really wrong, and it's not even going to be on purpose. But go ahead.
Bat Dibble. Yeah. So greetings from Canada. You missed all the excitement, Canada. We found Batman's Batawang. Anyway, yeah. So I do think that Webtoons is kind of like Geeky was saying, it's kind of weird because they were like pushing for these Infinite Scroll comics, and all of a sudden now they're all like, hey guys, we're gonna do ads now so now we need page views.
And I was gonna say, when you do advertising goes by page views. So for Webtoons to make more money, Infinite Scroll wasn't going to be as effective for them because that's considered 1 page view as opposed to 5 page views, 6 page views, however many pages are in that scroll. So and if you're doing your own site, you're not going to want to use Infinite Scroll because if you do get ad revenue, that goes per page view. But as a person that's just reading comics, Infinite Scroll is much easier to read.
Yeah.
So you have to weigh it by what is it more you're more interested in having it easy to read for your readers, or you're interested in having it that you can turn it into print volumes, more page views for more clicks, more you have to decide that.
Well, this is comics in 2018. Screw the readers. Like, it doesn't matter what's easier for them or what they want, right?
Sorry, let's see what I'm saying. Okay, I'm sorry for bringing it up. Scarred Geeky. Yes, I did not want to see. I can't even look that up. I'm like, why would you look that up? I can't believe
I looked that up either. Now, what kind of ads am I going to see?
I hope she's not. Yeah, exactly. I hope Geeky never looks at your browser history. Yeah. I guess maybe I need to. No. Oh, okay. Highly entertaining. Would sexist Spider-Man kill his wife? Yeah, that's kind of what they did, wasn't it? She got
it was
cancer.
She got cancer from his spider spunk.
I'm sorry. Every time you say it that way, I just
that was not the golden era of Spider-Man stories.
No, it was not.
A lot of people quit Spider-Man. It was worse than the Clone Saga. It was pretty bad. Pretty bad.
DC show Wonder Woman, Power Girl, or Harley Quinn topless. Oh, probably.
Give them time. Maybe they'll show Zoe Quinn topless.
Okay, good. Milk. What? I don't know what's going on. Clear the bow. Yeah, pretty much.
So anyway, we don't need super chats. We're good. We just wanted to draw and finally get the Dragon Prince review out. That's something we've been wanting to discuss for a while. So
you're drawing this cute little friendly Dragon Prince as you're talking about that. So you were gonna be like, oh, this would be a cute little thing that could let my child watch about Dragon Prince. Yeah, and they can't watch it now because you go look up pictures of,
Well, they asked us.
Fat dongs and, and stuff like that. And I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Hey, I'm sure these kids are watching, like, these disgusting Elsa and Anna and Spider-Man freaking weird videos on YouTube.
Hey, so I want to know what helps you get into the drawing mindset, besides me telling you have to.
Geeky telling me I have to.
No, seriously, what?
I don't
like
know.
Music a lot.
Yeah, I do play music, and there's certain albums I play that for like certain things I'm drawing usually. So, I like Led Zeppelin. I like older stuff. Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin. Yeah, so let's see who we got here. Harley is already topless.
Well, when you go to these conventions, we were at Baltimore, and there were these girls running around, and they were dressed as like Marvel or DC characters, and this was a few years ago, but they were literally body painted on, and they had like a skirt and like pants, but their whole top was body paint, and they let them in to the convention, and I was like, there are kids here, lots and lots of kids here. What the hell? It's like, go to Twitch. Apparently you're welcome there.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying.
Above Average Gamer, donate to the Karen Shake Homeless Fund.
I did.
I did.
I told him not to.
Geeky told me not to. So here's a funny story. Before everybody
I already knew
called Karen Shake out, we had someone come on to our Discord, which we do have a Discord. If you want that, we can get you a link to that. Just look in the description. You can find a link to our Discord. So somebody came in the Discord and said, "Hey, Karen Shake is going to be homeless." I'm like, "Oh, he's really kind of a jerk." And
I was like, he did this before, where he was asking for money
because
he went to Hamilton and then couldn't get his butt home and wanted food and stuff. And I was like, he's done this a couple times, and
yeah, he's done this a couple times. But I'm like, you know what? I don't like the guy. He has me blocked on Twitter. I've never met him. I've never interacted with him. But you know what? Being homeless sucks. Because
you actually were.
I actually was for a year. When I was 19, I was homeless. Oh, thank you, Raging Ray. You did not have to do that. Just hear Geeky rant and say it's okay. There you go, Geeky.
Oh, well, that's why I say everything. I just tell people, it's not for you.
Oh, that was you. Okay, Above Average Gamer. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you're Slayer. Then was it Slayer that posted, or you posted? Somebody posted.
They might be the same person.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think he did. Did he ever unblock you?
No, he never unblocked me. He doesn't.
No, he's not going to.
He's not going to. I knew he wasn't going to.
I think you did it more as an experiment.
I did more.
And not because if it was true, you wouldn't.
If it was
you
true,
felt bad knowing it was true and you did nothing to help. We've helped other people in the past, and they were complete dicks about it.
Yeah, if it was, yeah. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I guess my thing is like being if you want to be like the good guy, like you have to help your enemies. Sometimes. I mean, it just kind of goes with it.
Basically trying to prove you're not who they say you are.
Right. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? The guy legitimately needs help. I will help him, and that's fine. Now the question now is whether or not he legitimately needs the help. I guess like Umbrella Guy and
well, I actually told you that too. It took me like 2 minutes, and I was like,
yeah, okay. He's got a convention coming up or something.
But
that doesn't really mean anything. I don't know. I gave the guy some money. I got the word out. I retweeted that, he's got this problem. He's got this GoFundMe set up. I've got personal opinions as to how he got in that situation, but the thing is that it doesn't matter if you're homeless, and I've been there, and it was my fault. I made some stupid decisions, and
I think this is his fault too.
But, but I mean, it still sucks. It doesn't suck any less, but.
Wait, Rich Johnson has a gastric bypass fund?
Rich Johnson has a gastric bypass? Really?
Is that a joke? I think that's a joke. But I'm gullible.
Ray was homeless twice. Ray, don't give us all your money because then you're going to be homeless again.
Yeah, don't do that. But, we've almost come to lose our house a couple times since. That's why we don't do comics full time.
Yeah. No, Ray, I actually, we'll talk about it. I mean, we can, Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I forgot to look that up. That's bad.
Wait, what have you looked up? You don't look at his browser history. No, I think he's actually pretty good because he lives with me. Yeah. And he knows what would happen to him if he looked into things that weren't too good. It wouldn't be pretty.
Giving Kurt Eichenwald some pointers.
He's seen me angry. And it's not pleasant.
It's not pleasant.
So I don't think he would be that stupid. Just saying. And he wouldn't be looking anything up funky unless I was involved. So there you go. Take that for what you will.
No, actually, to be truthful, it was the same kind of situation with me when I was like 19. I wasn't ready to move out of my home. I wound up in multiple bad situations because I took bad advice from stupid people. But again, it's like when you're down, and this is where, not to get all preachy, but like when you're down, it's very, very hard to get back up. And, we've been in situations before, even just, 5 or 6 years ago, where there's a very real possibility we could have lost our house. I got laid off unexpectedly, and we just didn't know what we were going to do. And
that was when things did pay better.
Yeah, things did pay better.
We were one of the few that actually could do it full time for a little while, and that was good. But that's why when I tell people, I'm like, whatever you do, for the love of God, whatever you do not quit your jobs and go do this full time unless you are 100% sure that you have it built up to a position where you can quit and go full time. Because even publishing deals, they're going to give you squat unless you're a proven name. Don't just quit and say, I'm going to go make comics. I'm going to go make novels. I'm going to go make movies. Don't do that. Just don't do that. I'm trying to save you.
Actually, Tsubasa, Above Average Gamer Slayer actually was legitimately trying to help Karen Shake. I will completely, because we had a very, very long conversation. It was kind of a moral dilemma. They're not trolling at all. So,
are they trolling her channel?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, we can't speak to that, but
I don't know. I'm not sure who this is. Okay. So yeah, when you're down, you find who's truly on your side. That's true. When you're down, it's very, I joke with people. Well, I don't really joke. It's not really a joke, but because there's the old adage, to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I'm like, well, that's great if you can afford a pair of boots. When you get to a point where you can't afford a pair of boots, right, then it's very hard to pull yourself up. And, thankfully, in both of our situations, we had some very lucky breaks. A lot of other people wouldn't have been as fortunate. A lot of people aren't as fortunate. And, unfortunately, most people are only, a few paychecks away from being homeless. So it's just, anyway, that was a cheery conversation. Cheery. Oh, hey, Mike. Yeah, no, you haven't left a bad impression at all. We've just been very, very busy, and I'm not sure what our schedule is, but I would like to get in your podcast. We just have been very, very busy.
You can express how much work we do in a day. I don't know what's going on, but okay, go ahead.
Okay, apparently we've got a fight from another channel spilling over into this channel.
That's okay.
So I'm not sure what's going on.
It's scrappy here too.
Yeah. But the new Joker, yeah, I don't know if that's actually the Joker or they were just doing that as like a test.
I didn't see it, but
I'll pull it up.
How do you guys fit writing and content creation to busy lives with kids? Oh my God! Well, you don't sleep. When he used to work full time at the one place, he literally would come home, and our kids were little then, and he would eat dinner and then work until like 2. And then go to bed and then get up again at like 6 or 7, and it was horrible. And then I always started trying to do all the other stuff and do what I could do. But I had to always have our daughter for a nap and then pick up my son from school, and it was very hard. And actually, it's even harder now, which is why I haven't been updating the comics so much, because we are like literally working 7 days a week, several hours a day on projects.
We work on a lot of things.
It's hard. You have to you give up things. You don't get to watch TV as much. You don't play games as much. If you're lucky enough to play games at all, you have to figure out, prioritize what you think needs to be done in what order. And if you don't have time to go to the movies, you don't go to the movies. If, you just got to make it work. And it's hard. And that's why I'm not going to, say it's easy to have a job and do this stuff. It's not. It's hard. Actually, what I'd recommend someone to do is if you want to do like a comic, for example, if I were you, I'd actually work on it for like a year out. Like I'd work on it when you have time. Get everything built up. Try going around to these places and making connections and stuff to be ready to when you do launch it. Yeah. And then when you do launch it, a good chunk of it, but not everything. And then, unless you want to do everything. But there's people that do they won't start another project so they have the other one completed even though they haven't put it up yet. And then they start putting it up while they're working on something else. Just so you're always, you're not like, oh my God, I have to work. If you get sick, you're in trouble. This way you have some breathing room. You're not saying anything. And
well, no. I was trying to draw the thing here, but no, I agree with that. I mean, it's I think webcomics, the problem, I have with webcomic business model, and I'm not completely sold on it, but we did it for a while just because the kind of comic we did. I mean, we did try pitching a reboot to other publishers of it. We got very close to actually getting it picked up a couple different places, but the webcomic business model kind of sucks because you always have to churn out new content.
But I'm not talking about webcomics. I'm talking even if you want to do a graphic novel or something.
Yeah. Just work ahead.
Work ahead.
But webcomics is like you are always up against it because people always want new content, and sometimes it's like I can't do my best work and crap out pages every day because that's basically what happens is you're just crap out updates, and that's why some of the webcomics that get the most traffic may not be drawn that well. But it's usually a simple art style that they can put pages out every day or every other day, compared to spending 12,
Which is another thing when you're designing your characters. Keep that in mind. If you're going to do something that updates frequently, you have to draw that all the time and quickly.
Yeah.
So please keep that in mind because you didn't with Ren's coat, and now you hate that sometimes.
I do.
So,
I do.
Okay, let me look. What's going on here? Okay. Why take Disney years to release another Mary Poppins movie? Who knows? That's a very good question. I think it's more to do with what you were saying, Kneon, about, and that's a really hard act to follow. With
Mary Poppins?
Yeah.
I would not want that job. I mean, you're talking Mary Poppins, it's like, well, it kind of reminds me of Return to Oz, right? Like Disney tried to make a sequel to The Wizard of Oz, and it didn't work out very well, and financially or creatively. I mean, some people do like the movie, but they were basing it on the other books. I just have the kind of vibe with the Mary Poppins Returns. I don't know how they can recapture that, and it's either going to look like a pale imitation, I think, or it's going to be really far removed from the original, and I don't know. I wouldn't want the job. Yeah. I'm like, that's some things, just leave them alone.
How do you expect the new She-Ra characters to look? The ones we haven't seen. Probably more of the same of the things we have seen, I'm guessing. I'm scared of these things. We'll find out shortly, but I'm guessing it's going to be more of the same. More like Steven Universe-esque.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. I think you're going to see, because the original characters in She-Ra were all kind of like, athletic built
because
women.
they were like
warrior
Barbies.
Barbies, they were. But I think you're going to see they're going to go for more like body diversity and, different things like that. So, which is fine. It's just the fact that they're not showing Hordak does kind of concern me, because Hordak's the big bad.
Yeah, I know. That's a little concerning.
And we're not showing Hordak. So either they're going to play him off as being doofy, which I hope they don't do, or, maybe Hordak doesn't. God, if they gender swap Hordak, that's not going to go over well.
I don't know
if they're even going to go there.
That's
not going to go over well.
I think that's going to really push people too far. I don't know. Thoughts on the new Joker makeup being based on John Wayne Gacy?
I'm not sold on this Joker. I wasn't really sold. Well, I don't know. Heath Ledger's, I was kind of like, oh, that's interesting. Again, it depends on, Joaquin Phoenix is a good actor. He might be able to pull it off.
Really
just
old.
This. He does look really old.
Okay.
Like, he looks really old now.
Wish people would stop trying to imitate Marvel and do your thing, your gameplay. I think a lot of people just need to do their own stories. I think, there are a lot of people who are doing their own stories if you go out and look for it. Hey, Geeky, just because I'm 22, I still love 80s He-Man, 80s She-Ra, Thundercats. Well, that's just because you have taste, just saying.
Kate Blanchett as Mary Poppins, especially if you watch...
I think she would have been a good Mary Poppins.
If you watch the House with a Clock Against Walls, her character is like almost Mary Poppins.
She's very good.
Oh my God, the cars! I'm gonna put a roadblock out there and just be like, stop driving down my road.
Still disappointed we won't get a Yondu Mary Poppins reboot. That I would pay to see. I would definitely pay to see that. We were doing a convention, and the one convention they had this like conquest, which is one of those like scavenger hunts when you go to different booths and they have to do stuff to get like little coins. Little like they had like bottle caps and things, and you get tickets for
the conquest.
Yeah, for the
fun.
raffle.
That was fun.
Well, the year that came out, we actually, one of the things you had to do was we had an umbrella, and we used to make people hold the umbrella and scream, "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!"
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
All you hear is people yelling around the con, "We're Mary Poppins, y'all!" So, because my mom would make people speak in Wookiee, and my mom can't speak Wookiee, but she'd make them speak to her in Wookiee. It was weird. Anyway, because we're weird.
Yeah, maybe the cars aren't showing up on that. I don't know. Webcomics make issues absolutely. Yeah, I think a lot of people now, they actually sort of shoot for the graphic novel to do crowdfund the graphic novel. So I think they sort of are like, okay, we're going to do 100 pages. That's going to be one book. Yeah. And then, which makes sense.
The Greatest American Hero should be rebooted. They are rebooting
They're rebooting it, and it's
a woman.
It's a woman.
Just so you know. I think she's like Indian or something like that.
I think it's an Indian woman, yeah.
That is happening. Just saying.
I'm looking it up. I'm pulling it up. Yeah. There we go. It's happening.
Yep, there you go.
There you go. Believe it or not. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, yeah, I mean, it might be okay. I don't know. I thought they did a movie follow-up, like, to tie up loose ends on the show, like a made-for-TV movie. I don't remember exactly. It's been years.
91 people are watching, 86 are typing. Who are the other 5 people? Ghosts. Yeah.
Wait, what?
I don't know. This is ghosts.
I don't know. So let's see. Your noise gate might be keeping.
Oh, no, I won't get offered a job with Netflix on the She-Ra comic because they won't like me.
Oh God,
they've already told me it's not for me.
No, it's just DreamWorks. I'm still. Here's the thing. I don't think DreamWorks is very, very good at what they do. The fact that again, they seem to really. It's really on the down low. Like She-Ra, like they're really not.
It's really unusual how they're hiding so much.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's just a really, and they're going to try to say, oh, we just don't want to ruin the surprises. It's like, no, you just know everybody's going to have a hissy fit, and if you can hold back as long as you can, then there's nothing that can be done to stop it. But at this point, nothing can be done to stop it, so what's the point?
I think, and then there's conversation now. I actually popped on for a couple minutes into the voice chat on the Discord last night. And thanks everybody for putting up with me for a couple minutes. But there was a little bit of talk about Mattel and the rights that they basically had sold off the rights to He-Man and She-Ra, and now they're trying to get them back. And I'm wondering if the DreamWorks She-Ra project isn't like one of those things that Mattel didn't have direct input into.
Well, that's what I'm thinking too. That's what I was hearing too. I don't know if it's true, but that's kind of what I was hearing as well. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing I say is important. Nothing I say is important.
That's not true. It's important to me sometimes, unless you're wrong, and then I'll tell you so.
Yeah. So, but yeah, overall, I mean, we popped on here to give opinions about.
Wait, the reboot of Greatest American Hero and Cagney Lacey's canceled. Well, I can't say I disagree with that choice. Here's an idea: instead of rebooting everything that's already been done and trying to put your own personal rinse on it, why don't you just make up something new that could be loosely inspired by these things, and then we have at least somewhat original content.
Right.
Because I am so sick to death of seeing it every other reboot. Every other week it's we're gonna reboot this, we're bringing this back. It's like, you know what?
It's getting so old.
Every decade's known for something. This era is going to be known as for nothing but copying everything that's already been done. Because I mean, it's ridiculous.
I'd agree with that. And that's why I think Dragon Prince excited me so much too, because I'm like, oh my God, it's something new. It's similar to Avatar, but they're not rebooting Avatar. But they're rebooting Avatar, just not yet. Mm-hmm. Which and I don't even know if that's
same people involved. Like, same people involved, so it was okay then. What was that one I saw the other day that they were doing? And I told you. And I know they're doing Party of Five again. God. Except this time it's a bunch of Hispanic kids whose parents were deported. And then they were doing what was the other thing? What was the other thing they were doing? And they were saying they were going to try to make it more about designing women, but they were going to try to make it about the current issues of the day. But they have the original writers back.
Yeah, they're bringing Murphy Brown back too. I'm like, my God, make it stop. Just
come on, people. Like, let's get off your lazy asses and do some original stuff. Just saying, there's lots of original stuff out there. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Yeah. Generation Z, generation of reboots. I agree with that. Believe Noelle Stevenson. I don't think she's a bad writer. I'm not liking what
are we looking at?
I see of She-Ra so far, but we'll see.
Where are you pointing at? I don't know what you're
I'm pointing with my pointer right here.
Okay. Believe in Noelle Stevenson. I don't believe in Noelle Stevenson, but I have lots of reasons for that. So I've read some of her stuff, and it's not that great. And I've seen her behavior on Twitter before she probably deleted it all, and it was not that great either.
There's some history there. We won't go into that.
So I really don't believe in Noelle Stevenson.
Hilda on Netflix, I've heard is very good. I've heard that from multiple people. I've heard Stretch Armstrong is good from multiple people.
Yeah, we got to see that too.
I'd like to check that. I think that is also that's DreamWorks too, I think. Stretch Armstrong. So that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, it's very topical. Very topical. It's reboots. It's just I'm tired
5
of
years
it.
to Hollywood attempts to do a live action Dragon Ball Z. What was it the other
day?
No,
they did. Didn't they do it live action?
No, I know they did Bleach. Now they did Full Metal Alchemist.
They did a Dragon Ball. It was awful.
They did a movie. Yeah, they did. I never saw it. I didn't watch it because I heard it was so bad.
Yeah, it was awful.
My brother saw it and he said it was that bad. So
it was. I think it was a girl from. She played Chi-Chi, wasn't it? Oh crap, what's her name from Smallville? I think was in, wasn't she? Maybe
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about either.
Yeah, anyway, they said it was bad. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it was bad. What if you don't watch TV? What if you don't watch TV in 12 years? Well, then you're probably it might be original to you.
I think it's going to be like, wow, all those shows I watched as a kid are still on
TV. Yeah,
they're still on. True.
Because it doesn't even have to take long to reboot things. No. So it's just whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, Dragon Prince, loved it. Hoping for more. I hope we don't have to wait another year to get another 9 episodes, but we probably will because that seems to be par for the course now. Still haven't muscled our way through Iron Fist season 2 yet. We were like 2 episodes in, 3 episodes in.
I'm sorry, my mind. I have something I can say, but it's another one of those things that if I say it, it's going to end up on a T-shirt and I'm going to be harassed for months. So I'm not going to say it. I caught myself that time. I almost said something, but I caught myself. Myself.
So I don't know.
Yeah, New York. Yeah, I'm thinking New York. Comic Con is going to be when you're going to see more. I think so too.
I wish. I mean, I got to tell you. I mean, I'll tell you. The truth is, for me anyway, again, I'm not the target audience. It's not for me, but for me, I think a lot of the disappointment with She-Ra was I after watching the 2002 series and you see how detailed the characters were and how much it harkened back to the original show, and then you look at She-Ra and it looks so like uninspired compared to.
It looks like it's trying to be Steven Universe.
Yeah,
it looks like
yeah.
it's trying to be. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Actually, my exact words were when I found out that they were doing the She-Ra, I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, that person's doing She-Ra.
She was.
I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then I saw who was running it, and my exact words was like, shit. Because I knew exactly what was going to happen. And it's exactly what I said. I remember
exactly where I was. I was in the kitchen making toast.
But were you when Geek found out about She-Ra?
I was. It was like, I just heard like, shit, coming from the dining room table. I'm like, what? Because I thought she'd be happy they're doing new She-Ra. I did not read the entire article. And she was like, oh, man.
I was. And then it was killed immediately. Yeah, then I thought, okay, well, you know what? It'll be okay. It'll be okay because it's Netflix. They did these other shows. These other shows are really good. Yeah. They put these other shows on there that's good. So Netflix is going to have it on there. It's DreamWorks. Okay, it'll probably be okay. And then, no. It wasn't okay.
Well, we'll see. I mean, here's the thing. What would be like the ultimate is like, with the show drops and we watch it and Geeky's like, oh my god, I actually liked it.
And it's possible.
It's totally possible.
But I mean, the trailer at first, I was kind of like, this isn't too bad. And then she spoke, and I was like, oh my god.
It still wasn't too bad. Then she opened her mouth.
And then then I was like, okay, I would never. My son, he makes fun of that so bad. He's like, that voice though. And then the transformation thing, it was like she was, joking about Captain Marvel being like looking, not smiling and everything else and looking like, she's pissed off at the world. She-Ra said, hold my beer. And then has like soulless expressions. And then, I mean, the scene at the end of the last episode of The Dragon Prince, I'm not going to ruin it, but there's a big thing that happens at the end. That had more.
It's sparkly.
It had more passion, excitement, everything than this that did.
The Dragon Prince, just even the trailer, I was excited about the Dragon Prince, and I can't say the same for She-Ra, but we'll see. I mean, it's very possible that we watch it and it's like, it's actually not too bad. Who knows? Then everybody will like unsubscribe from the channel because they'll be like, you traitors. That's what happened with Solo. We were like busted on Solo, and then we're like, shit, it wasn't completely terrible. It's like,
I know we haven't talked about yet. We have to wrap up soon, but we haven't talked about yet was the Bert and Ernie fiasco.
Oh, do we gotta talk about Bert and Ernie?
No.
Okay, so yeah, freaking love Dragon Prince. Okay, so Bert and Ernie are not gay. This didn't go over well with people who thought Bert and Ernie were gay, simply because one of the writers of Bert and Ernie said that he based his skits or his episodes on his relationship with his partner, but I don't even think he came out and said. He just said he kind of thought when he was writing
funny things probably they said or something.
Right.
It wasn't meant to be. Yeah, and the thing is about that was here's the funny thing. I always thought it was based on The Odd Couple, which is what it was based on. The Odd Couple, yeah. And then my next thought was, I really don't think that it was a running joke all the time for years that they were gay, but they weren't supposed to be because they're flipping puppets for children.
Yeah.
And when you're little kids, you're not watching Sesame Street. They're not thinking, I can't wait to see if Bert and Ernie make out today. No, they're watching Sesame Street. They're actually Sesame Street thinking, that's a cool, the letter of the day and the number of the day, and let's see him make cookies, Cookie Monster eats till he explodes. That kind of stuff. They're not thinking.
Yeah, if you want hot puppet action, you're gonna have to watch Happy Time Murders.
I'm just saying.
Is that what it's called, Happy Time Murders?
And then I just can't even. Then they're saying, well, Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog. Yes, because that was for an older audience. That was for the Muppet Show, which was for adults originally. And then like Sesame Street, those for like little kids. They're not sitting there wondering these things. They're not like
some little kids might be. I
doubt it. 3 years old, they're sitting there. My mom was making a joke. She's like, we're puppets. There's a fist up their rear. I mean, they're puppets.
Oh God. So yeah, Frank. I mean, here's the thing. Bert and Ernie were created in like 1969. Frank Oz and Jim Henson. 15-20, well, about 15-ish years before that writer came on the show. But again, it was a case of he put some of himself into those characters. Did not mean that they were canonically. Gay.
Well, writing. I mean, when you're a writer, no matter what you do, you're gonna impart some of who you are into a character. There's no way not to, even if you're keeping true to the character.
Oh, James, you didn't have to do that.
Worst case scenario, if it bombs, then Geeky release her rage and becomes Super Saiyan 2 to defeat the. Yeah, well, I probably.
Oh my God! If She-Ra is a train wreck, one will probably quadruple our subscribers in like a week because it will be nothing but Geeky ranting all week.
For the first week, it probably will be.
For the first week, like I can't believe they screwed this up.
And if you want T-shirt worthy quotes, there'll be many that week.
Oh my God! What would you say the 2000s entertainment was known for? Oh my God, I don't even know.
Was the reality TV was actually I think
Rise
the
of
90s. Yeah, anime, I'd say, yeah.
True story.
Yeah, you told it before, but you can tell it again.
Did I tell them?
You did.
Okay,
you
I won't tell it again then.
Where he was almost on
The Real World.
Real World. Yeah.
I was. It was almost.
You missed the cutoff on age by like a few days. It was like a few days. Yeah, it was a month.
It was less than a month. I missed. Yeah, I was almost on Real World season 3. I was actually in the last like 20 people. I think they were down to like 20 people, and the next step would have been like to go to New York and talk to them. But then so Judd Winnick got on it. So now he's all like famous comic book artist or writer. Yeah. So, but yeah, I missed it by like less than 3 weeks. I think
because your birthday was.
Yeah.
Then they had to eliminate him because he wasn't old enough. Dang it.
Yeah, I wasn't, but that's okay because then it would have been like washed up reality star trying to do comics.
Oh, we didn't get to watch Iron Fist. They go full Marvel at the end. Oh God.
Oh man.
The Iron Fist.
A reboot of Jason Will Warriors. I'd watch Jason.
I would too, cool. Actually. Okay, we're gonna have to probably wrap this up this soon.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this one up, guys. But yeah, overall thoughts to bring it back to the beginning.
Well, we never stay on topic.
We never stay on topic. Dragon Prince, excellent show. Love it. Love it. This is what I was hoping. Really, this is what I was hoping Korra would have been. In terms of like characterization and quality, and and it feels more like the spiritual successor to Avatar of the Last Airbender than The Legend of Korra.
Yeah, it feels like this is a good show to be a good show. And characters are good characters because they're good characters. It has nothing to do. They happen to be diverse characters, but they're good characters. Like It's not like you're gonna get this diversity. I'm gonna open your mouth and shovel it in until you choke on it. It's not like that.
No, it's a great show. It's a great show. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely make time for it. It's well worth it. It's a good show. And I can't wait to see where they go with it next. I'm loving it so far. So, yeah, Dragon Pilot. I know I posted the link and I tried to find the English trailer. Geeky Rants. Tried to be good. Tried to find the English. Dragon Pilot's such a cool concept. They're freaking dragons that turn into jets. How can you not like
Dragon
that?
Transformers.
Dragon Transformers. You need to draw Geeky's image with Super Saiyan blue hair for She-Ra. Every time she rants, I'll switch her avatar out with she'll have like lightning bolts in her hair.
I'd be holding a She-Ra doll though, like a real She-Ra doll, not a
a real She-Ra doll.
One of those things.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to watch Hilda. We've had so many people tell us that Hilda was good.
Yes, well, we'll try to get to it when we have time. So.
Yeah, Harley Quinn's gay too. Harley Quinn's bi. I thought she was bi.
I don't know. I can't keep track anymore.
I don't know.
I just always assume that they're something other than straight because that's what they usually are.
I don't know. There was no indication.
Honestly, I don't think about that anyway. I'm not watching it like who's she gonna sleep with? But then I guess anymore that seems like that's what matters. So anyway. So okay. We are going to make a theory great, man. I am so afraid that that's where they're gonna go with it. I'm like really thinking like the Great Rebellion is going to be the rebellion against the conservative horde or something. And I mean, I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but I'm like, if they go there, oh my God. I'm sorry. Harley shags or floats her goat. And I just thought that was funny because I always heard floats her boat, but I don't know if it's a typo or what, but floats her goat is much more fun to say.
Oh, jeez.
Whatever floats your goat. It's much more fun. It's just much more fun to say. That's my new one now. Float your goat.
Float your goat.
Whatever floats your goat. That's what I say because people around here look at me like,
hey baby, I want to float your goat.
I figured Harley was into Ivy because Ivy was a good friend and saved her. Well, I just look at this point. You're not allowed to be friends. You're not allowed to be friends anymore. If you're two guys and you're friends, you're gotta be gay. If you're two girls and you're friends, you're gonna have to be lesbians because you're not allowed to have friends of the same gender anymore. Because if you do, you're automatically shipped.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. But like, look, I don't care what they do in the DC Comics with Harley and Ivy, but I'm like, if they're going back to the cartoon, like, they had a couple of platonic adventures together. That doesn't mean they have to be screwing each other, but that's just my own personal.
I mean, Stormer and Kimber were friends in an episode, and
then in the comic, they're together. They're a couple.
You're not allowed to be friends. I guess my advice to you is if you just make sure when you pick your friends, you realize that you will be sleeping with them at some point.
Pick attractive friends.
Because the way the world is now, they're going to ship you together anyway. So
Geeky's my best friend.
You actually, yeah, that's true. We are best friends. But okay, so new She-Ra cartoon. She-Ra finds her parents' mother looks like Hillary. Father looks like Obama. Hordak Trumpet. Probably. They keep saying about what's Got Milk ad with Pillsbury Doughboys made in night. We'll have to look that one up.
I don't know.
No, okay. Do you have any? If you want to do a webcomic, I recommend sprites. It's a lot less work on than non-sprites.
Oh, like actually drawing the webcomic, yeah, or rendering it, or stick figures or something. Like webcomics are just like so time intensive, and you try to do a good job, and I'm like really embarrassed of the early work I did on ours.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I know you are. You mentioned it a lot,
but we're just trying to slam through pages to get ad revenue. That was just, oh, hey, thank you. Obo $2.99, thank you. How do you feel about Telltale Games closing down? I heard about it. I actually haven't.
I didn't hear about this yet.
I heard that they were going to shut down, and I guess Batman wasn't finished. I thought they were going to do Stranger Things too. I think they were working on Stranger Things.
That sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer because Telltale Games were kind of like, I don't understand how. I mean, you have to look into this more. I don't even understand how it happened. I thought they were doing well. I mean, they'd sell a lot of.
I don't know. I didn't know this until you just posted it. But then I wasn't looking at gaming much, so.
Yeah.
Unless it's Kingdom Hearts 3, and then I'm like, I want to see everything I can find about that.
We're gonna try to get Squid King on here the next day or two. I have Bard's Tale 4, which I was surprised they're doing They did it. I have a copy of it. Bard's Tale 4, which is turn-based, classic RPG, but it's all with like fancy new graphics, and it looks kind of cool.
Okay.
So we'll have to check it out.
Well, there's a lot of business models not working that are that companies should be closed over, and sadly they're still holding on. But
Hordak wants to build a wall.
Okay, that's
so
fun.
where does Horde Prime come into this? Because Horde Prime is like this disembodied like robotic hand. It's his brother or something. It's just like. That's what the Illuminati or something, like telling him what to do. I don't know.
I don't know what you're even talking about. You lost me when you started talking.
Yeah, don't listen to me.
Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we're gonna try. I have a copy of Bard's Tale 4. I don't think it's out yet. This one place sent me a copy of it to have us play it, see what we thought about it, and it looks really freaking cool.
Okay, so you guys are gonna do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do Bard's Tale 4.
All right.
It's all 3D. It's like Bard's Tale but in 3D, so it sounds pretty cool. And Peter Smetty is gonna be on Monday. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna try to line.
But I'm probably not gonna be there Monday.
No.
Probably not.
You can be if you want.
I can be. I don't know enough about what you guys are talking about to talk about it intelligently.
And Mike Shork, I'm going to get back to you with the time. Hopefully we can squeeze in some time here in the next week or so to get on your podcast. Have not forgotten about you. We just have been, like, we don't even know where our schedule is from week to week, so it's crazy. Yeah, Horde Prime will be Putin. it'll be Putin telling Hordak what to do. That's funny. Oh my God.
All right, are we ready?
Okay, I think we're done. Go watch The Dragon Prince if you haven't already. Wait for, I would personally wait for, home video for
House of the Clock as well as
House of the Clock on the Walls. I can't find it now.
But whatever.
Doesn't matter.
And don't show the small children.
Doesn't matter.
So,
okay.
I know I saw there's a new trailer. I haven't got to watch it yet. I have to go see it. Okay.
If you
haven't, see you guys later.
Yeah, if you haven't joined the Discord, go to the description. We have like 200 people over there now, and they all talk without us.
That's okay. Fine. We don't know what's going on.
I have no idea what's going on.
It's like life. I'm like, what?
It's
Where
like
am I?
a meme fest over there now, but.
What's going on?
But you're more than welcome to talk amongst yourselves over there. It seems like a pretty good crew.
Okay, we'll see you guys later.
All right, guys. Bye.